Welcome to this special episode of the Building Texas Show. We're coming to you from Garland, Texas, and we're at the Why Texas event focused around education. And what I appreciate about Why Texas is it's a focus on education, but you have a lot of employers, civic leaders, you have a real mix of people in the room. And sometimes I hear, well, why am I in the room? If this is education, I'm not in education, that's not my customer base. But I want to remind people that yes, it is, because that's your future workforce, that's your training teams, that's who's really developing the future in Texas and what we're talking about here. So thank you, Andrew Johnson, for spending time with us today. You're with Lone Star College.
Correct.
Can you help us understand what Lone Star College is and what your role at Lone Star College is?
Absolutely. First, thank you for having me. Happy to be here. Why Texas is an amazing effort. Just to speak on Why Texas before I tell you about myself and the college. Why Texas, we've had the opportunity since we've been here to meet people from all walks of life, commissioners, realtors, community servants in the social, civic, community, faith community. Very, very inclusive effort by Why Texas. So hats off to them for that. Lone Star College. Lone Star College is a member of the greater Houston area colleges. We have Houston Community College, my college, Lone Star College. We are primarily on the north side, spanning both east and west of Houston. And our enrollment for the second semester in a row was 91,000 plus. I think that is a super big number. So happy to be a part of that system. Happy to be a part of the community college community here in the great state of Texas.
The community college system is such an important part of what we do because it bridges the gap, in what I understand, between what we think about as high school education, and then it's not university academic, but it really is more application of the learning in my experience. You're really getting in there, you're getting the education of a college, you're getting moved forward beyond high school, but usually there's a technical vein or there's a specific path that you're on that community college is really focused on. We've talked a little bit about just technology coming in. That's a big effort for anyone trying to further their career, and a community college is a great place to do that.
It is. So two great things happened in the 70s. As a country, we created OSHA, Occupational Health and Safety, or Safety Health Organization.
Yep.
That was a big deal. Second thing that we did as a country, junior colleges.
Yep.
That's when they started. I think early to mid 70s, the establishment of the first junior college. Today, those junior colleges, community colleges, serve a purpose where they are a feeder system, but also a place for hope. The average person that walks through the threshold of our house, they come in with the hope of doing something different. You mentioned you are a product of the community college system. So am I. I took a very interesting route into education. I served in the military first, so my college teen years were spent in the Army. After that, the hope was to attend college, but how?
Yeah.
The hope was to find the answer at a community college, and we still serve as that place of hope for those people who are not the traditional university student, and still trying to figure it out. The community college is there in a more personable, more approachable way for the average person hoping to better themselves, not just with the college degree, but with the opportunity at picking up a skill craft trade, with the opportunity of obtaining some type of license, be it a real estate license, a license to become a person that draws blood in some type of medical environment. A community college is there for almost every aspect of the workforce, and now we're paying attention to that.
Well, and that's for the individual person too, but I'm seeing community colleges really turn and outreach into the economic world around them, and working with the businesses and becoming part of their training team, becoming part of their technical expertise, creating spaces, labs that maybe they don't, the business isn't quite big enough to put that lab in place, but 10 businesses together can do that, and the community college is a good place to house that. So I'm seeing community colleges really become an important part of our economic development regionally, because it's preparing the workforce, but it's also preparing the companies on how to meet that workforce.
Agreed. What I think business is starting to realize, corporate America is starting to realize, long gone are those days where a big company would hire John or Susie's son in as a helper and train that kid, him or her, up over the years to become a productive part. There was a study that was done by Manpower, I think. 1995, Manpower did a study to see in our American workplace how many individuals held jobs that required a degree, and it ended up being a ratio of 20%.
Mm-hmm.
2015, I think that study, they redid that study, but they took a few different controlling variables into consideration. How many people within that population, our population, hold jobs that require some type of certificate and or license? And then the degrees. So the degrees was still at 20%, I think slightly higher. But what they found out, 17% of our demographics, people held jobs that required some type of license or some type of certificate to say that I am credentialed. That's a change. And that's not something that higher education paid attention to. Coming out of the 70s, there was vocational training that kind of dissipated and went away. There's a need for it still.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're able to actually quantify what that need is. So community college, when you look at the triangle, you have the population, our community, you have the business population, corporate America, and then you have somewhere at the top, I think, education. And education is university and or community college. Community college is absorbing that because we're closer to the population than what you'll find in big universities.
Well, and what I love for the student is it's not a 4-year marathon or 5-6-year marathon.
Absolutely.
It can be 6 months, and you've got a job-changing certificate that you can go out and be an HVAC tech at that point. You can go out and be a computer science tech, whatever that industry is. And that's more achievable to the everyday person that says, oh, 4 years and all that money is long, but 6 months and a little bit of money and some support, and I'm going to meet employers and becomes so much more exciting, and to the point of hope. That is the hope that student is trying to find.
You become a positive contributing part of the society in which you've matriculated into, and now you have an idea about what your future will look like. And if that one doesn't work out, let's say it's HVAC tech, and you don't like crawling into hot attics in the summer in Texas.
Yeah.
You can go out and do 2 additional weeks in water wastewater training and have a TCEQ license as a Class D water wastewater operator within a thriving industry.
A place where we have a shortage today.
Right.
And if you're 18, 25, 30 and saying, what's next in my career? Look for the things like that where we have a regulatory need and a shortage, and you're going to find a community college filling the gap on certificates.
Absolutely. Water, wastewater has proven to be recession-proof, and it just recently proved to be pandemic-proof.
Yeah.
None of us went without water, and those people were at work every day working.
Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today, for speaking at the Why Texas event, and for promoting hope. I think that's an important takeaway as we think about what does the future of work look like. Work should be satisfying. Work should be prosperity. Work should be life-changing. And thanks to you and everyone at Lone Star College, we see that happening. So thank you for the way that you're building Texas.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching the Building Texas Show. Be sure to follow us across all social media platforms and let us know what you like.